Here today talking about this new business that you would have set up on the east coast of Demerara, Cigars and Cognac. Um, you started out as an attorney, went into politics, now into your own business. What has the transition been like for you?
It's been good. New experiences and very challenging. Kind of different in certain regards, but at the end of the day, everything that I was doing concerned people, my interactions with people. And most persons know me, know that I'm a people person right up off the bat. So this has been an easy transition, but it's been very, very, very challenging. It's just a year that Cigars and Cognac has been up and running, and I must thank my partners, Floyd Arthur and Christiana Ross, for making it possible. I must also thank Erwin Peterkin, Richard Moore, Carrie, TJ, Fidel, Scaffold. I shouldn't say Scaffold. I should say Scaffold. All right. But there's a lot of persons. Mervyn, Chief of Works, he's a person who is responsible for most of the infrastructure here. Little Boy, I shouldn't call him Little Boy as well, but most persons will know them by those names. And a lot of other persons who would have, along the years, Darren, sorry for forgetting you. I can't forget Darren. If I do forget mentioning Darren, there's going to be a lot of cussing afterwards. You know, so there are a lot of persons chipped in. Kurt, just come help us to build and grow a brand that we're actually the most talked about entertainment spot in Guyana, you know.
That is something that I know. How did Cigars and Cognac actually start?
Well, actually started with an idea, and you were in Cuba the very same time I got the idea. We were at a medical outreach in Cuba, at the medical council, and I always smoked cigars. Persons don't know, I always drank Hennessy, but smoked cigars. So I started drinking. Forgive me, Preacher Born and Sister June. I always loved Hennessy. In my 20s, Hennessy was my drink actually. Hennessy and Red Bull, and you smoked a cigar. So since in my 20s, that's what I did in my hobby, as a hobby. And when I went to Cuba, I saw they had this beautiful lounge, and they had this humidor. And I was like, they had more than one, but I went to actually two. One was at the hotel, but the other one that was in downtown Cuba, what's the capital of Cuba again? Havana, downtown Havana. This guy had a setup where persons could have gone and stored their cigars actually. Wow. Yeah, it was very, very uppity, up end, up down, you know. So I was like, yo, that's really, really cool, man. I would like to maybe not have the kind of setup because the finances to actually reach there is a lot of investment. Cigars and keeping cigars, having a lounge is a pretty expensive investment. But have the idea where persons who enjoy a cigar could actually get a cigar. And a person who enjoy a good cognac could come and enjoy a good cognac. So that's what I said I wanted to have. I actually had the idea in Cuba when we visited there. So when I came back to Guyana, it happened right away. I was at Floyd's birthday party. That was in 2019, yes. And I was telling him, I see these guys, the same Scaffold, the same Fidel, a lot of these young guys. And I was like, what are these guys doing? You know, what they're doing? Because young men, tall, my age, their age, sorry, we used to be playing basketball, playing football, in school, something. She's like, yo, these guys ain't really doing nothing. I said, wow. And then I feel like I neglected Melanie because most persons know me. I was in Tiger Bay and all boys stuff. Yeah. I was in Gupununi, all over the place. But persons really didn't see me in Melanie like doing stuff. And I was like, yo, I got to come to Melanie and do something for these young men. At least give them an example. Yeah. And this was what it's about. I started off with a simple hut, a wood hut. Mervyn built it. 4 feet, I think, by 6.5 feet, 7 feet. had the coconut branches on it. I started off with 3 boxes of cigars, a bottle of Hennessy, a bottle of Johnny Walker, a bottle of Ciroc. And that's how I started, selling on the road on a Friday night, selling on the road, yeah. And lo and behold, they had people who were cigar lovers. And these guys would come, Max Weatherspoon, Ayodel, you know, those guys would come regularly and buy a cigar, you know, take a double shot of Hennessy, whatever the case is, and, you know, they drink, they smoke. And that's how I started. Floyd had his bar inside. It wasn't up and running at the time.
Yeah.
And from there, I just said, yo, man, you want a business partner? Because none was happening in there. So he said, yeah, sure. And we started off in there, little area, little space. And all here you're seeing now was bush and garbage. The guys used to play some small goal football here. But nothing, people used to dump the garbage here and burn garbage here. Right outside the door, had garbage. I said, yo, Floyd, I can't be in this environment. I can't come do business here. And when I open my door, I see garbage. I said, I don't do that, you know, that's not me. And we started to, I must say, forgive me, the Vigalstra Co-op, I give them the utmost praise, you know. You know, after God is the Vigalstra Co-op. And they have supported us. We told them what we had, the idea we had to do a play park here, to do our own thing here, and to still do a little play park for the kids. You could see a little swing there and thing for the kids. And they've always supported us. So Mr. Joseph, Miss Springer, Mr. Jacobs, Mr. Ben, Miss Petal, Rochelle, I give you all gratitude. And so we cleaned up here. All the guys, the young men, Fidel, Scaffold, you name them, but 20 guys. Cooked a pot of cook a pot of chow mein. We clean, and we cut the bushes, and we cut the grass, we pick up the garbage, and we cleaned up here. And we started 3 glass tables, with 12 chairs on that little space there.
And it has grown.
And then it's been growing.
When you look at what you have created here, how does that make you feel?
Well, for one, I must say, I think one of the biggest compliments I've gotten was from Captain Gavaya. You know, he came and he saw the place. Now, I used to be around Captain Gavaya a lot, so I heard him speak about, you know, business and coming on entrepreneur and that kind of thing. And, you know, he was like, he patted me on the back and he says, James, what you've done here is amazing. You're an entrepreneur. You know, that meant something because he's an entrepreneur, you know, he's into hotels and airlines and that kind of thing. And I heard him talk about business. And to hear him, you know, speak about it. And I want to tell people this here. And tell people who come from communities like me, you know, from Melanie, Mabaruma, Lillian Dahl. There's nothing like hard work. And you know, everybody can't be doctors and lawyers. There's a generation that was not taught the value of business. There's a generation that was not taught the value of becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's a generation that did not teach the joy of being self-employed. And we still perpetuate that same thing, where they have to go work with someone, they have to go do something with someone. Yeah, everybody has to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere working with somebody. But the end of the day is you always have to strive to become your own entrepreneur, your own boss. You know, being accountable for other people, manage other people. You know, and when people tell me they want to become a police and soldier, I cuss them. You know, I cuss them. The reason is, I'm like, why would you? And this is not a knock to police officers, this is a knock to soldiers, this is a knock to anybody. I'm saying, look, if there's no other option, or that's the career you want, fine. But there's so many other things that you could explore. You know, so many things you could explore. You're gonna give 8 hours a day to an employer. You're gonna give 15, 20 years to an employer. After then what, you retire. All you have to do is live off of a pension or how good your kids treat you. You could actually lay a foundation for generations. Working for a salary doesn't create generational wealth. But becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a businessman, you could create generational wealth for not only you, by generations to come. Now, a generation has missed this lesson. How to manage finances, how to be financially responsible. I tell people see the place has grown so quickly. It's not because of money I put in. It's because of the money the business would have brought. The money the business bring in, James Bond don't take it and buy cars and go and buy this and go and buy that. James Bond take the money and put it right back into the business, put it right back into the people. You know, we've been giving back to the community, spending millions of dollars in hampers. Just recently we did that. We put in street lights. And my friends could tell you when they come every day they see something new. The guy who built this bar here, he's from the village next door. Non-Prel. The guy who built that bar there is from Buxton. The guy who built the pergola there, he's from Enterprise. So we've been able to support the hubs, the little small entrepreneurs around here with this business. And I ain't talking about being paid a $5,000 or $10,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Amounted to millions, if you count it to everyone, has gone back into the various communities around this area. As to the impact on the other businesses here, they could tell you. Before we came here, they had a barbecue there, selling a couple of barbecues, boxes every week. No, business grow and develop. Proud of them, super proud of them. The lady over there, she started with a simple blue hut. Now she's grown and expanded. The guy next door here, he was a little country space. Now he's grown. We got 2 mobile vending carts now. Hot dog lady, burger lady, food. Got a lady up the road selling her food too now. So a lot of people have grown. The Brown Shop is like a mini mart. So as a result of our presence here, the spin-off has been so tremendous that everybody is now benefiting. And as I say, the only thing that is stopping us from growing is how far we see ourselves. You know, how much we limit ourselves. I think the community has so much potential, so much growth. I think we've done a great thing by bringing people to Melanie, and it's to find a way to keep bringing them, keep having them interested in Melanie, keep having them seeing different things when they come to Melanie, because you can't just offer Banksbury and Guinness and expect people to come all over Guyana selling Banksbury and Guinness. So you got to be able to do something different. You've got to create a product that's different, and that's what we're trying to do. I must thank the Guyana Tourism Authority, who's supported us also. Don't let me forget them. And for me, as I told my partners, when we started to see the people that come here, people from Exxon, the teachers, the police officers, you name it, they come here. Government officials come here as well. We welcome them, of course. We could create a tourism hub right here. We're trying to do a paintball competition here, streamed out right through the Caribbean. We're trying to do different things here. So to find a product that when persons hear Melanie, they hear, look, we're going to Melanie not just for entertainment, but for different activities, and build our own tourism brand right here on the East Coast. You know, and that is the end vision for me.
Now, you would have mentioned a lot of positives for what your establishment would have done for Melanie. What are some of the challenges that you have been facing in operating this establishment here?
The first challenge that I faced was reliable labor. That's the first thing. A lot of times when you give someone a task to do, they probably say yes, they could do it, but they can't do it. Another thing too is you tell them, oh, start today, they can't do today, you gotta wait next week, you gotta wait the other week. So the first thing is labor, not finding, and that's how I end up finding the guys that I actually found, is from going from this person to that person, and end up with the right person. You know, big shouts out to Devon from Buxton. I won't call him Paco, but his correct name is Neil Emmerich from Golden Grove. So that was my first challenge. I was saying I was the only bar owner that was being arrested and placed before the courts. You check the records at Vigilance or wherever and see how many other persons have been arrested, bar owners or owners of businesses. These are business owners, don't use bar owners. How many business owners have been arrested? And I'm not the only business owner on these scores. I was the only one.
I know I've seen your videos on social media, but have you taken it up with the authorities? Have you gotten any response?
I've asked for intervention. I'm not a litigious person. I'm not a person who I hate, for my own part. I don't want to be running up a court step every 2 mornings somebody does me something. The only thing I actually took them to court for is when they took my laptop away. My personal laptop. I had to take them to court to get it back. And that's how vindictive they were at that time. I told the guys, I said, this laptop is not a DJ's laptop. This is my laptop. We were basically looking at the cameras from my laptop, trying to put in the program for the cameras, the security cameras on my laptop. The handyman had it in his hand. The police officer snatched it out of his hand and took it and lodged it. I went to ESP Ali, I went to all of them. I says, look, I have to get back my laptop. This is my work laptop. This is not a DJ laptop. The only way I can't get back my laptop. They've seized other person's equipment and given them back. But for my laptop, I'm not getting it back. So I had to take them to court to get that back. And Justice Ramlal did order that I get back that laptop. So it is so spiteful, it's so glaring. They can't run from it. So what they've done is persons became afraid to come to this place now. Thanks for our loyal customers who still come, who support us right through and through. All right? But people actually, when they said, yo, James, man, I ain't coming there, buddy, because the police just fighting you down all the time. That's what I hear almost on a daily basis. Yo, James, how you and them police? James, you still open? They close you down? You know, so in Guyana, for me, I see two Guyanas. There's no one Guyana in Guyana. They got two Guyanas. They got a Guyana for the other places, businesses who could operate and do well. And there's the other Guyana where I got to be combating with the task force and the Guyana police force. And to be honest with you, they know that curfew thing is just to penalize certain people. That is not doing no dent on COVID. Because right through, I was one of the first persons to get vaccinated. I want people to get vaccinated. I'm going to do my booster, get my booster shot just now. From the hours in the day, you travel, you check the public transportation system. You check the markets. You check all across the country. That's when you got to think about COVID. Not in the evening when they got a few persons out and about. And most persons who were sick or they're tested, they're in quarantine. And some persons may be asymptomatic. And they're probably not even knowing that of the thing. They're around the persons who during the day you need to target and get a look at to curb COVID if your interest is really to curb COVID. Think about COVID during the day and push the vaccination. But don't say, you know what, I'm shutting down this bar, and suddenly there's a COVID fight. That's probably just 1% of solving the entire problem.
But James, where do you see Cigars and Cognac in the next 5 years?
Overseas. We're gonna have other branches in Guyana because persons, I have had 1 or 2 offers to take this on the west side and take it up the East Bank and take it to Georgetown. And I will do so. But for me, I think that's a vision of myself from Floyd Arthur. We've always been speaking to some people in Antigua. And we've asked them to actually look for space for us in Antigua. I think that's the first country we would take the brand to Cigars and Cognac. Because this atmosphere, this open air concept, and I would like to say this public thing again, the pergola thing, we're the first. This open air kind of thing, we're the first. You know, using authentic wood. If you see the bar, our cocktail bar, is the bark of the bark of the tree trunk. We cut and we make it into a bar. So we try to keep it. You know me, I'm a Mabro boy. I'm an interior boy.
Yeah.
So I got some Nibi chairs coming as well.
Wow.
So I got my Nibi wicker chairs, Nibi wicker table, because I want to make it Guyana. I don't want to make it. Anybody could build a bar and make it seem as if you're in Manhattan or you're in Los Angeles or something. When you come to Cigars and Cognac, you must know you're in the rainforest. You must know that this is the ecotourism country. I think we're number 1 or number 2 on top 10 in terms of ecotourist destinations. Probably number 2 in the entire Caribbean or Latin America. We have an eco product that the world doesn't have. You know, mighty kite shore. We got part of the Amazon in the Aerocrama. You know, regions 1, 9, 7, and 8. Plump right in that with the waterfalls and cascading through the forest, the kind of thing that attracts. So we have ecotourism. So it's just to bring that right here. With the only modernity we want to bring is in terms of the service.
That you offer. Yeah. To owner in Cigars and Cognac.
Yes.
As a young businessman, seeing what you have created here, how does that make you feel?
Accomplished. Accomplished in a sense that you ever heard the term a rose come from the concrete or grows from the concrete? This is basically what me and Mr. Bond did here. A rose came from the concrete. Basically made something out of nothing. Bring life to everything that was dead. So felt accomplished.
You're the bartender here. I mean, based on what you've created here for me today, what has been the response from others when they come here asking for a drink?
Well, basically in terms of mixing, it was kind of new to me. So from the section you get some good criticism, some bad criticism. But the bad criticism, that was the most important ones because I took those and I improved on it. So now you could actually get a nice drink.
That's perfect.
All right. Yeah.
So what are some of are there signature drinks that you have here?
This is actually a signature drink. This is known as tequila sunrise. But we just twist the name a little bit and we call it the cognac sunrise. So, you know what I mean? Display some of our business strategies and how much types of ingredients and so on and so forth we put into the drink as cigar and cognac. We just say tequila sunrise or cognac sunrise is it? Cigar and cognac, yeah.
So what would be, for you, what do you think would be next for you here?
At this location for Cigar and Cognac for 2022, basically improvement in the service area of the business and continue to push to actually finish up the entity how we want it because as you see it right now between me and Mr. Bond it's actually like 55% complete. Wow. You understand? So completing this entity and moving on to the next.
Will you tell somebody who, driving, looking for, I don't know if they can find a perfect drink, but looking for a good drink, what would you tell them? How would you get them to come here?
There's a theory or a philosophy that there's no better drink than a cold one. You understand? As James said earlier, everybody's selling Banks and Guinness. So we basically want you to get a cold Banks and Guinness. It's not like a cold beverage. So come at Cigar and Cognac and make sure that your beverage are very cold, ice cold.
Thank you.